Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel Straight Talk, where we dive deep into the minds of some interesting personalities who have achieved significant success in their line of work, as well as made remarkable contributions to the society. Our guest today is Mr. Niranjan Kirloskar, who is the Managing Director of Fleetguard Filters Private Limited. Fleetguard is a manufacturer of filtration systems for automobile and other industrial applications. Welcome, Mr. Niranjan.
Thank you.
So, like we start always, can you start by telling us about yourself, your education, where you are from, and things like that?
Basically born and brought up in Pune. Then I went to Karnataka High School. I finished my schooling there up till 10th. Then after 10th, I did my commerce graduation from Bruhan Maharashtra College of Commerce, which is more famously known as BMCC.
Right.
Pursuant to that, I went to Bombay and pursued my law degree.
Okay.
I practiced for 5 years. And in 1996, I came into business as a trainee. During my school days and my college days, I used to be an athlete, a sports lover.
Good.
Like in school times, during school times, I used to play langdi, dodgeball, kho-kho, cricket, of course. Then then tennis, badminton. So all these sports I used to play. When I went to BMCC, obviously only two remained, which is tennis and cricket, because BMCC did not have langdi and kho-kho and all these games.
Those were typically played in school days. Right?
School days, yes. There used to be inter-school competitions of kho-kho and langdi and dodgeball,
Right.
which I don't see any younger generation playing that today. So that is where I am from.
So, you said you practiced law. So, was it independent practice or?
No, I was working with a solicitor over there,
Okay.
and I worked with him for around 6 years. Our practice was basically into corporate law and property
So,
law.
what brought you to Pune?
Okay, so while I was practicing law, I came across a case which was related to trademarks and patents, and I wanted to find out as to how a engineering industry works, or how a fast-moving consumer goods industry works. See, for example, a trademark, when you think of a trademark or a brand, and if it is a consumer product, it is very easy for somebody to get confused if the name is similar. Why? Because the product is sold across the counter. Like you and I, if we go to any shop and say, give me a 5-star, it is sold across the counter. That particular sale is for a person with average intelligence. Whereas what happens in an engineering industry, it is not very easy to pass off your goods as somebody else's goods.
Right.
Because there is two engineers will come together, two commercial people will come together, they will discuss the technical things that they really want for a particular application. It may be automobile, it may be industrial, it may be anything. It doesn't matter. But it is not that I go to a engineering industry. If I want, let us say I am a car manufacturer and I want a clutch plate to be developed. I just don't go across the counter and say, give me a clutch plate.
Right.
There is a lot of technical discussions happen. So I wanted to find out as to what is the difference between FMCG, how a FMCG will operate, and how a manufacturing engineering industry will operate. That is how I came to Fleetguard as a, you can say, intern, trainee, whatever, for a period of 1 year.
Okay.
I did that to find out how a engineering industry works. And then I found that very interesting. So then I decided that I will not do anything in law or practice anything in law, but I will start working in the industry. That is how I came here.
Very interesting. So, did you find it very difficult coming from a non-technical background into engineering industry?
Obviously, it is difficult for anybody, but let me tell you, I won't say that it was difficult or it was easy. But for me, it was a much better situation to be in because I am not an engineer. I did not, obviously, I come from a commerce and a legal background. So for me to ask any stupid question about engineering was acceptable because I was not expected to know in any ways
Right.
as, as to how a machine works. Why is the pulley running clockwise? Why not anti-clockwise? I don't know. So I could ask that question. But an engineer, if I were an engineer, then I would have been expected to know all this.
Correct.
So because I came from a non-technical background, it was much beneficial to me because I could learn a lot of things.
It's a very different approach towards difficulties, how to approach them.
Yes, because you just keep on asking questions and you might realize that one of the question can give some breakthrough solution.
Right.
Because nobody has thought about it. As a third person who's coming from not an engineering background, it could have been a solution to some problems.
So have such things happened?
Not really, but yes, people, whenever I have asked 2-3 questions and people had never thought about that, so then they started thinking, yes, if this is done, there'll be more improvement in the machine.
Your
Yes.
thought process.
Yes.
Right. And can you tell us about your journey in Fleetguard? So you started as a trainee.
So I started as a trainee in around, I think, 96, 97, and then in 98 I was appointed as the market development person. Then within a few years I was given the admin function, and then in 2002, 2003 I became the managing director. At that time, we were a very small company, maybe 50-60 employees at that particular time, and the turnover was around 10 to 15 crores.
Okay.
And now it's been almost about 2002, 22 years. Now we are at 2,500
Wow.
crores, and we have 5 plants all over India. We have around 2,500 employees, direct, indirect, whatever way. So that is.
This is a big shift, right? From 10-15 crores to 2,500 crore rupees. That growth is substantial. So you had to make a lot of changes, and what changes did you do? What were the challenges in making those changes?
See, since 2002, 2003, like, let me go back to history. The company was incorporated in 1988. 1991, the operation started. And from 1991 to around 2006, 2007, we were working like any other company would work, which is you want to grow your profits, cut costs, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Which is everywhere today. Keep on cutting costs, because people think by cost cutting, people will earn money, people will earn more profits. We were the same. There was no difference. Then in around 2007, we came across a theory called as theory of constraints, which was written by, or not written, invented by Dr. Eliyahu Goldratt. He was from Israel. Unfortunately, he's no more now. But that particular theory of constraint taught us a basic thing. In one word, if you want to define theory of constraint, it talks about focus. Don't try to do too many things. Just focus on one thing. Okay. Now, what is to be focused on? What should we focus on? Now, if you take a chain, you have links, and the chain happens with the links. the strength of that chain is the weakest link in the chain. So if you have to strengthen the chain, you have to focus on that weakest link. Whatever improvements you want to carry out, but you carry out on that weakest link.
Right.
Automatically the chain will become stronger. So that's the focus. Now, obviously, when you improve that particular spot by doing whatever, the constraint is going to shift
To some other location.
to some other location. So some other location is going to be a weaker section now. You go there. Focus on that. So that is what theory of constraint taught us. Just focus on your constraint. Find out what is the constraint of your organization. First, define the goal. Obviously, for any company, any organization, profit-driven companies, the goal is to make money now and in future.
Right.
Period. There cannot be any other goal for a company. So in order to make more money, what do you need to do? You need to sell more. Simple. If you need to sell more, where do you sell? You always sell in the market. What is the market share that you have? Do you have more than 50% market share? No. Which means what? Your constraint is in the market. So focus only on that particular constraint, which is the market. Whatever the market needs, however it needs, then create a back-end infrastructure to ensure that you take care of the market. So which is known as subordination. Subordinating to the constraint. Now if market is the constraint, everybody in the organization has to subordinate to it. That is the way we have now started operating since 2008.
Okay.
And that is how it has carried this company from 10 to 15 crores to around 2,500 crores. Because the entire organization now knows the goal and that they have to focus on is availability of the product in the market. Nothing else. There is no other focus. You have made the product available in the market. Your job is done.
So that is one thing that has changed the dynamics of the company.
That is the only thing which has changed the dynamics of the company. There are so many tools. There is Six Sigma, there is TPM, there is TQM, there is Kaizen, there is suggestion schemes, and you name it.
Right.
Now, theory of constraint does not say that do not use all these tools. But theory of constraint definitely tells you where to use this tool. For example, if the example that I gave you of the chain, the strength of the chain is the weakest link. If I leave the weakest link the same way it is and try to improve on the strength of a link which is not the weakest, how does it make any difference? The strength of that chain still remains the same.
Correct.
So exactly this is what happens in companies where there are suggestion scheme, there is Six Sigma, there is Kaizen, there is TPM, there is daily improvements, etc. All these improvements are being carried out everywhere in the company.
Yeah, you're right.
Everywhere. Which does not add to your bottom line. Which will not add to your bottom line. It is not possible. Because maybe you have 100 projects going on at this particular time, out of which only one may be the project where you are working on the constraint. 99 may be a non-constraint, non-bottleneck improvements, which will not give you any benefit. In fact, you are wasting your resources and money and thereby increasing your operating expense unnecessarily. So, theory of constraints taught us that work only with a focus. Work only on the constraint and you will benefit.
So as I understand, now it is TOC is the DNA of Fleetguard, right?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody eats, breathes, sleeps TOC.
And what were the challenges, I mean, to roll out TOC across
Okay,
the
see,
organization?
let's not talk specifically about TOC here. In any organization, change is always
There's a
what do you call
resistance.
resisted to.
Yeah.
Always. Simple reason is nobody wants to come out of their comfort zone. But as leaders, we need to ask them or tell them, why does a person doesn't want to come out of his or her comfort zone? The answer is very simple. When there is a change, that person is not sure how that change is going to affect me. That's the reason why this resistance comes in play.
Correct.
Now, if I want to make a change in this place where we are sitting right now, and I tell you that, Rahul, we want to make these changes, and I say because 1, 2, 3, 4, there are assumptions. Then you may have your own assumptions why these changes should not happen. You may be having assumptions.
Right.
And then if you are shown that this particular assumption of yours is wrong, you will not resist anymore.
Very true.
But the problem is that people just try to force a change without telling the people in front of you why this change, what is going to happen because of this change. All these things are never told. That is the problem. For example, if I tell you, Rahul, I am ready to give you 10 lakh rupee loan, what is your reaction going to be?
Now, why? What for?
No. Do I have to return it? Whether I have to return it?
Yeah.
But now I tell you, Rahul, here is a 10 lakh rupee loan. You do not have to return it. Do not worry. Now what will be your reaction? You will be absolutely happy.
Correct.
And you will have no problem because you have clarity.
Right.
So if you give people clarity about the change, then you will not face so much resistance. However, there will still be 10% of people who will still try to, poke their nose and put a spoke in that development. No, but this cannot happen, this cannot happen, this cannot happen, this cannot happen.
Correct.
After telling the organization, asking about them, about their assumptions as to what do you think will happen if this change happens, clarifying all the things, once everything is clarified, still you will find one organizational psychopath.
True.
You do whatever you want, he or she will still keep on resisting. There you have to ask them
Put
to
your
leave.
foot down. Yeah. Correct.
Either you do it or you leave. Because this is the company policy. If you are not willing to follow it or align with it, then I think it's better that you leave.
Yeah.
Second, we always think that when a change comes, there will be a lot of resistance, there will be a chaos, there will be employees will say, no, we don't want to go with this new system. What is the problem with the old system? But if you see the bottleneck, if you've seen a bottle, any kind of bottle, beer bottle, whiskey bottle, water bottle, whichever bottle, the bottleneck is always at the top.
Right.
And that is the problem. Bottleneck is never at the bottom. It is the thinking of the top management which makes a vast difference in how the organization runs. The top man, how he is or she is,
Right.
it all depends on that, how the organization will run.
Very true.
So yes, we had our challenges. I won't say there were no challenges, but you have to have patience. For the first 6 months, you have to keep on telling people why this change is required, what is the benefit that you will have, the company will have. The company grows, obviously everybody grows. So it took us around 6 months to a year. But after that, life was very easy at Fleetguard.
Actually, change management or driving a change is people are grappling with that in organizations, but you made it sound very simple, and your solution also sounds pretty simple. Which is you talked about TOC, but where does quality come in that? So how do you manage quality? Is it part of?
See, in TOC, we talk about something called as necessary conditions and sufficient conditions. Okay, now let me first explain what is necessary condition and what is sufficient condition. Then I will go further. So, necessary condition is something that you have to do, you have no choice. In order to live, I have to breathe.
Correct.
It's a necessary condition. In order to live, I have to exercise. No, not necessary. In order to live, I have to eat. Necessary condition. Otherwise, you are going to die. So, that is the necessary condition. But in order to live a healthy life, is only breathing and eating is enough? Is sufficient? No. I need to exercise. Then I can have a healthy lifestyle. Now that is sufficient conditions, sufficiency. So there is a difference between necessary conditions and sufficient conditions. Necessary conditions, you have no option.
Correct.
So that way, we made quality and delivery as necessary conditions in Fleetguard. There is no compromise. You have to do it. You can't go and tell the customer that we give a quality product. We are ISO 9000. We are QS 9000. You can't do that. That time has gone.
Correct.
Any customer, you and me, when we go to a restaurant, we expect quality. We expect delivery. That food should come on time. Now, if a restaurant comes and markets with us that I have the best quality in food, I have the best service, that is given. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Right.
So, we have made that first. Now, for quality, we have all our quality systems in place, processes in place, process FME is in place. We have Kaizen system. We have a process of ongoing improvement. Now, again, the Kaizens that happen in the factory, where it is for quality, it is given utmost priority on a daily basis, which we call as POOGI.
Okay.
POOGI, process of ongoing improvement. And rest of the improvements, Kaizen improvements or suggestion schemes, are done on the bottleneck machine. So right from start to end, in the entire supply chain, I'm talking about right from supplier to the end customer, the entire process failure modes have been identified, effects have been done, analysis has been done, and the scores are given for that FMEA, risk priority number, RPN. And then systems are put in place. So that is how we take care of quality, and quality is a daily thing that you are supposed to do. You have to live quality, you have to eat quality, you have to sleep quality. Whatever, and it is not only about the product in Fleetguard, whatever we do has to be quality.
That's how you said necessity, right? So
It's a necessity.
Right.
You are doing an event, it has to be a quality event.
Right.
You are doing, let's say, our sports tournament, it has to be the best. You are doing CSR, for example.
Right.
It has to be top notch, not half-hearted.
Yeah. And how do you see the new technologies affecting your industry, automobile industry as such, like AI and ML? A lot of people are talking about it, as well as EVs coming in now.
Yes, EVs are coming. But the question is, where are the EVs coming? Number one. Why is EV coming? EV is coming on an assumption that it is a clean technology. To charge that EV, where are you going to generate the electricity from? By burning coal.
Correct.
So you are going to burn that coal somewhere in the country. What about that pollution? Nobody has thought. the EV battery needs to be disposed of. Who has thought about that pollution? How are you going to dispose that off? The two-wheelers and the three-wheelers and the four-wheelers that you and I would ride or drive would be converted to EV, no doubt about that. It's a matter of time. The intra-city buses of, let's say, what is a PMT, will be electric, EVs. School buses, EV. Whatever transportation is plying within the city will go to EV.
So short distances.
Short distances. Long haul vehicles, I still believe that it will either go to a fuel cell technology or it will go to a hydrogen technology or CNG, LNG, biofuel. All these are clean technologies, and I believe hydrogen is the cleanest of all.
Okay.
Because it's at the end of the day water,
Right.
which is going to come out. And India, and not only India, but even globally, they are working on all this,
Right.
on hydrogen. In fact, Japan, I believe, have adopted hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen will prevail more, will be more a bigger dominant player, at least in the long haul commercial vehicles in India. Because that is the cleaner technology, number one. Number two, even if EV come or fuel cell technology comes or hydrogen internal combustion engine comes in place of diesel engine, filtration is still required.
Correct.
It's not that filters just disappear.
Right.
It's a different kind of filtration, but filtration will be required.
So you will keep evolving your products.
Yes, we are already working on those new technologies,
I see.
which are happening or will be happening. Prototypes are ready.
Oh.
Some are on the vehicle for trials and testing. Some are in the lab for testing.
Okay.
So there's nothing to, for us to really have a worry about right now.
Yeah, and what about AI? Because it's globally there's a lot of chatter about AI. Are you also embracing it?
No, we are not embracing AI right now because, see, artificial intelligence AI is more to do with data, where you require huge data. Example, super malls. Malls. There you would require AI. People like Amazons, because their customer base is huge.
Right.
It runs in millions. Analyzing million customers or billion customers is a big deal to do it manually. Their AI will definitely be helpful. Yes, our kind of industry also it will be helpful. There is no doubt about
Maybe
that.
logistics or something.
Yeah, but our volume is not that big to really analyze something. For example, in a mall, when a person comes in to shop something, there are 15, 20 people coming in. So that artificial intelligence will keep on analyzing how does Niranjan shop, how does Rahul Panchikar when he comes, he shops. Now, if you see today Facebook or Instagram or any social network, if you have gone on Google and seen some advertisement, automatically you will get suggestions. That AI is doing it. No person is sitting there. The AI is doing this. So yes, AI will be useful, but AI will be useful for a larger scale of customers, where the scale is very high. The number of customers coming into your shop daily has to be in lakhs.
Right. What, according to you, is the strength of Fleetguard?
People. There is no other strength. And that's why we have a policy in the company that irrespective of what the market situation is, there will be no layoffs, there will be no salary cuts.
Wow.
Only in two conditions people will have to leave: any unethical practice or underperformance as a trend. Not a one thing.
Right.
That today you did not work, so you go home. No. We see the trend that for the past 3-4 years your performance is not good.
Yeah, because complacency can get in, right? Because
Correct.
if you give that kind of cushion of...
Correct. That is in TOC language we call it inertia. Let not the inertia get into you.
So when you say people, is it something you groom them over time, or you make some decisions while hiring itself? How is it?
We are hiring now GETs, graduate engineering trainees, not as a policy or something, but freshers, and then we develop them. And all our top people today, around 52 or 53 of them, as we counted that as key people,
The leadership team.
yeah, at different levels. All of them have been with Fleetguard minimum for a period of 20 years.
Wow.
So that is how we develop internal pool, internal talent. We do not hire people from outsiders at top position. It will be through internal development only, because we have the TOC culture. And suddenly some outsider comes at the top position, and if he changes everything,
Correct.
then it's a complete chaotic situation.
Right.
So if you ask me today, if I have to start Fleetguard again, what will you choose first? So I will not say machinery, I will not say technology. I'll say the same people. We can do it.
Oh, yes. And I think that growth opportunity you've been providing. So
Yes.
That is the reason people will stay, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, it is very difficult. And you talked about CSR. So what does Fleetguard do in terms
Oh,
of
we
CSR?
have, of course, a CSR policy in place where we work in segments like health, rural infrastructure, education. So these are the three, and sports. So these are the four things that we work on. So wherever our factories are, we have 5 plants in Pune, Jamshedpur, Pantnagar, Dharwad, Hosur. So in these areas, wherever help is required for schooling, I mean, we are not talking about schools who charge high, big fees, and
Right.
we are not talking about them. We are talking about Zilla Parishad schools, Gram Panchayat schools, where they do not have proper facilities of toilets. We construct it for them. They don't have proper benches to sit. So basically, giving that school and the kids learning over there whatever the school has not been able to provide for whatever XYZ reasons. So that is what we do. First priority we give to those schools or those areas where we are stationed.
So ensuring that the infrastructure is such that it is not a deterrent for children to come in, right?
Correct. That's right. Then in rural infrastructure, we construct toilets. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also is harping, and he has already done it where there were no toilets for people. So we do that now in villages where there are no toilets, where it is needed. In schools, there are dirty toilets.
Right.
So obviously, when a kid who goes to a school sees that dirty toilet, he never or she never will learn hygiene.
Right.
So that's number 2. In sports, we sponsor students or kids from rural part. If, let us say, somebody wants to play cricket, we will give him a kit, but not urban.
Okay.
Rural, because they do not have opportunities.
Right.
Urban kids, people living in cities, kids living in cities have opportunities. They don't. But we have a lot of talent.
Correct.
Then we do tree plantations all over, on hills, on this Vetal Tekadi we did it, on Hanuman Tekadi we did it.
Yeah, few lakh trees were planted, I
Yes.
think, last year.
Yes. And not only in Pune, everywhere, wherever we have our plant, everywhere we do plantations.
Oh, excellent.
Then your blood donation drive, taking care of our mechanics in the aftermarket who buy products from us, like giving them tetanus injections, their kids tetanus injections, because when the mechanics work in the garage, they always get a cut somewhere or the other. So these are all the activities that we do under CSR.
Okay, so what is your vision for Fleetguard going forward?
Do you watch कभी सास भी कभी बहू थी?
I don't, but I am aware of it.
Correct. That's the vision for Fleetguard-filtrum. Every household wife or kid who are not my customer, who do not buy my filter, but they should know our name. That's the vision. Like you just said,
Right.
you know Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi series, but you don't watch it. Same, I want this kind of a housewife who doesn't buy my filter, but knows what is Fleetguard-filtrum. That is the vision.
So how do you plan to do it?
We are thinking on it. We are yet to get there as to how it can go to a housewife.
That is my point of interest because we make ads, so
Yeah.
that is why I was
Yeah.
asking you.
Yeah, so we need to really think as to how every household
Right.
will know. Like every household knows what is Reliance. Every household knows what is Tata.
Right.
Same way we are trying to do it. We may not reach the entire population, but even if we manage 10 to 20%, it is quite a huge number for us.
Yeah. Coming to you, I would like to ask you who do you have any idols in your personal as well as professional life?
See, personal and professional both. It was first my father, who's no more now, and second is Dr. Eliu Goldratt. He is also no more. My
Eli
first,
Goldratt, I think people know from reading about his books.
yeah, the goal.
And can you tell us a little bit about your father, Niranjan Kirloskar?
So he was born in 1936. Let's not go back there.
Right.
And then he joined Kirloskar Oil Engines at that time as a trainee. Then he was the materials manager there for a few years, as I remember now. Then he went on to become the president of Kirloskar Cummins Limited. And there he joined as a president. Then he became the managing director and chairman of that company. And in 1986-87, he retired at the age of 50. The reason being that he wanted to dedicate his entire life for education. And so we have a school as known as Bharat Vidyalay in Y,
Right.
which is at the foothills of Mahabaleshwar. There's a village called as Shahbag, where that school is run completely on donations and charity. No fee is charged. It is only for the economically backward kids, girl, boy, whatever, who are below the poverty line. No fees are charged, and entire education is free. The uniforms, the food, everything is free. And this year, only yesterday, the 10th result came out, and we had 100% result. The highest being around 95%. This is our 8th, 10th batch. In none of the batches, anybody has failed.
Wow. Excellent work. And I have visited that school and I have seen
Yes.
the infrastructure and the passion is made that school with, and the way he connected with the kids.
Yes.
It was amazing. I think I used to interact with him about, we talked a little bit about education. He was also, I think he read Yuval Noah Harari, and I used to also do that. So we used to discuss that. Excellent personality.
Yes, he was.
And so you are carrying his work ahead?
Yes, the school is being looked after now by his daughter-in-law, which is my wife. So she looks after the school.
Okay.
So that great work will go on.
Right.
Because it is a fantastic institution
Yeah.
which cannot die.
Correct.
It will go on even for the next 100 years. It will go on.
I'm sure. And I think the contribution we can see from the kids
Yes.
who have grown up to be high achievers. And you were talking about your love for sports. Do you still engage yourself in sports and do you play anything?
Sometimes I play cricket
Hmm.
and badminton,
Okay.
but the frequency is very less now.
Okay.
Because while playing cricket, I had a very bad injury. I injured my right eye.
Right.
Then while playing badminton, I broke my knee.
Hmm.
So I am taking it little easy now. So yes, gully cricket I now continue. On the big grounds,
Yeah.
I try to avoid. So
Talking of cricket, who is your favorite player?
the MS Dhoni.
MS Dhoni.
Yes, and there is a simple reason for that. He is very humble. See, all our cricketers are capable
Right.
cricketers. There's no doubt. But humility, modesty, taking responsibility at that particular time, when needed, when required, is what he has always demonstrated. And he has always thought out of the box.
Yeah.
He has allowed people to fail.
Right.
He has removed the fear of failure, which also we adopt in Fleetguard.
Hmm.
So, lot of thinking of MSD and what our culture in Fleetguard is little bit similar. For example, 2,500 people are allowed to make one mistake a day.
Oh.
No problem. Condition is you will not repeat that mistake. That's all. Because you have to learn from that mistake.
Right.
So 2,500 mistakes a day, which means 2,500 new things that we have found out that will not work.
Excellent. Yeah.
So this is the same concept. If you've seen Dhoni's captaincy, it is the same concept.
Yeah.
Let him fail, doesn't matter. He will learn.
Any mistake of yours from which you had a big learning?
Well, I would say land bank.
Hmm.
Somewhere in 2002 or 2003, I had the opportunity of buying 100 acres of land for the company.
Hmm.
But I said, why do I need it?
Oh.
So I bought only 10. Today I realize that land bank is very, very important.
Yeah.
But after that I learned. Now when we go to buy land, we buy it keeping 10, 15 years
Right.
as a horizon. This particular land thing I remember, that's why I told you there may be many which
Correct.
it's not coming to my mind just now, where I tried it and it didn't work.
Right.
Like in the market, when we try new schemes or new ways of marketing the product, sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work.
Right. Any favorite book of yours?
The Goal, which is written by Eli Goddard. I am not a ardent reader.
You like watching movies?
Of course, I love watching movies. I love singing. I love acting.
Yeah, we know about your acting
Yes.
and singing skills also.
Yes.
I think you have performed with some of the top artists on stage with them. So-
Yes. Few of them are Shankar. 3 S's.
Huh.
Shankar, Sonu, and Shan.
Yeah. And who is your favorite singer?
The alive or
All time.
Kishore Kumar.
Yeah. I think he's in everyone's heart. of
Kishore
India.
Kumar is the most versatile singer that I've ever seen, number one. Number two, why is Kishore Kumar the most favorite in India today? Is only because the songs that he sang are very easy to sing
Right.
for anyone.
Correct.
They are not at a high pitch, or there are no complicated compositions of the song where the variation is too much.
Right.
And that's why Kishore Kumar songs are favorite. That's why I like them, because I can sing any Kishore Kumar song. But tomorrow you may ask me to sing a new song which are being released today. I find it very difficult.
Right. And your favorite movie?
Sholay,
Yeah.
all-time favorite, yeah, which was ahead of its time.
Yeah. So great. And do you have some message for our listeners, young aspiring entrepreneurs?
Yes, definitely. Remember one thing. Just remember one thing. Do not be scared to ask questions. You may think in a room that you are about to raise your hand and ask a stupid question, but believe me, the people around you also do not know anything. So it is always better to be stupid once or an idiot once than remain idiot or stupid for the rest of your lives. So ask questions when it comes to whatever comes to your mind. Ask a question. Doesn't matter. Number one. Number two, in your life, just remember one thing, there is nothing called as a right or a wrong decision. Not taking a decision is the problem. Remember that. A decision is a decision. Because you have taken a decision depending on those particular circumstances at that particular time. That time or those circumstances may change after 24 hours, and therefore you start thinking, oh, my decision was wrong. No, the circumstances around that thing has changed. So, two messages: ask questions and take decisions, take risks in life.
Excellent advice. And thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
We enjoyed, and I hope all our listeners also enjoyed, and all the viewers. Thank you for watching Straight Talk. If you like the interview, please click on the like button, and also please subscribe to our channel, as well as hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates to our upcoming interviews. Thank you.